Did you ever have a falling out with an artist you were working with due to, you being too judgmental of their feature or something like that?
I've had falling out with artists for all sorts of miscellaneous
What are
things.
the
I got
top
robbed by
ones?
Lil Tracy.
No
Uh,
way. No,
yeah,
that's
over a
crazy.
feature.
I was a huge fan of Lil Tracy. He robbed you. Talk to me about that.
So I was pretty close with Gus,
With Lil
in
Peep.
the circle and
You
stuff like
knew
that.
Lil
Pretty
Peep.
pretty
That's
early on,
crazy, bro.
like MySpace. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Yeah.
Like way back.
That's
Um,
so crazy.
we modeled clothes for the same clothing company.
Wow.
Uh, and we got around in the same circles a few times. This is actually how I met one of my other artists, Cheyenne Died,
Yeah.
was in that same circle. But me and Tracy just didn't get along. And some things happened after he died, and somebody took a video of him on the back of a tour bus,
Yeah.
and me and that person had a little incident.
Was that McConan?
Uh-uh.
No. Okay.
I'm not gonna say his name.
All right.
I've already dealt with it. I had to go through lawsuits and all kinds of shit, so I just don't want to rehash it.
Yeah.
But if you do your research, you can find out who I'm talking about. You won't be able to find out what happened because I went through pretty good due diligence of getting it taken down everywhere. But I'm sure it still lives somewhere in the vastness. But me and this person who took a video of him
Yeah. Of Peep.
unalived on and posted it. Me and him had some words, and I wound up meeting up with him, and I slapped him, and I didn't know somebody recorded it.
Yeah.
And after that, it got posted, and I got really upset that somebody posted that.
Yeah.
And then I got doxxed, and I lost a 80,000 follower Twitter account. I lost a 30,000 follower Instagram account and like a 5,000 follower Instagram account all in the same day.
Wow.
I got doxxed, like my public information, my social security number, like all kinds of shit got leaked.
Crazy.
And it was through like Horsehead, Fish Narc,
Yeah.
and like a bunch of really big artists, people like I slept next to, right? So it's like really hurtful. A lot of mixed feelings.
Yeah.
And it honestly was one of the worst things to ever happen to me. And if I had one regret out of everything I've done in music, it would be regretting slapping him.
Yeah.
Not because, oh, I feel bad for slapping him, but because of what it did to my career.
Yeah.
It turned my fan base into a bunch of drama seekers, and the only way I'd be able to, I would go live with some crazy shit going on and have 70,000 viewers. And then, like, if I went live and I'm just, like, hanging out trying to play the game or, like, smoking with the homies or some shit, I don't even have, 50 people in.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where I started to realize, like, the fan base I cultivated are people who prayed on my demise, prayed on my
Yeah.
downfall.
Yeah.
And it got me in like a big rut, and like I fell back from social media for a pretty long time after that. And it took a long time to like recoup and
Yeah.
like come back from that.
Yeah, well, I really respect that you did, and it's great to be talking to you now. I was a huge fan of Lil Peep. Obviously, I listened to all of his songs, had them all memorized. I watched his documentary like 4 or 5 times, and just completely obsessed with Lil Peep. And I'm always fascinated to hear, years later, those stories about what that was like, because the way it was.
Oh, bro, he was such a rock star.
Yeah.
Like in every sense of the word. Like if he was born in the 70s, he would have fit right in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It it's tragic, but I would be remiss if I didn't say it wasn't 100% expected.
What do you mean by
Like
that?
like exactly what happened like was basically written in stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh
Like in his
he
lyrics?
not only in his lyrics but in his lifestyle.
Okay.
Um he was really like that.
Yeah.
Uh the person he portrayed in his music was him.
Mm-hmm.
Uh he was a womanizer. You know what I mean? He loved that. He was like a sex symbol, he felt like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he loved that. Like
Yeah.
what that did to his ego was very damaging in my opinion.
What do you mean by that? Because I don't think a lot of people know. Obviously, he had a lot of songs about women and getting girls.
Um he was very much I don't know how to put it. Um like like girls were like a dime a dozen.
Yeah. Like
You
he
know,
would.
like the type of girl that your average person would die for. Like was just another random bitch to hit him up on Instagram.
Yeah.
So like his pool that he was fishing from was a pond we're not even allowed to look at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for
He was.
him, like he didn't appreciate it because like he could just go on Instagram and there's literally millions of bitches who would die for him.
Yeah.
So it
Um.
didn't really mean anything to him. I think loyalty was something really tough for him.
Yeah. Do you mean that? Are you speaking on women only, or just with friends and people in general?
Um, he didn't really have friends like
Yeah.
that. Like he was very close with a small group of people, and that's it, really.
Yeah.
Like he mingled, he was cordial, but he wasn't the kind of guy to like sit and hang out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Of
know what I
course.
mean?
Do you think he was
Like
busy?
even when I met him, like I mean, he was like 16, 17. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so it was weird. Uh seeing how fast he went from like nobody to everybody knows who he is. I think that was the scariest thing.
What do you mean?
Uh and I think I just in like being somebody that nobody really knows, like where there's no repercussions for like saying something stupid,
Yeah.
right? So going from I can do whatever I want to oh, I can do whatever I want,
Yeah.
right? Like, oh, I want to get high. I'm going to get the best drugs and I'll probably get them for free,
Yeah.
right? And nobody's going to tell me stop or no. Nobody's going to discourage anything because I'm the guy.
Yeah. So you met Lil Peep when he was 16, 17, back in the MySpace days. What was your initial impression of him the first time you met him?
I just thought he was a really cool kid.
Yeah.
I thought it was so crazy that as young as he was, he had so many tattoos.
Yeah.
'Cause I had a couple, but I didn't have anywhere near as many as he did.
Yeah.
And he was just a year older than me. So it was like super crazy, like seeing that.
Yeah.
And his sound was so different.
Yeah.
Um, it was weird seeing him like seamlessly be able to rebrand himself and like almost like nothing happened and grow even bigger. Was super crazy to see because I had also rebranded and I had the exact opposite effect.
Yeah.
I went from making one kind of sound to the sound that like I wanted to make and that I had always made but didn't put out.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the same reaction. So it was cool to see it work out how I thought it was gonna work out for me.
Yeah, I love that. And did you feel like you drifted apart from him once he had that initial spike?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And
Yeah.
did you feel a bit left out at that time, or how did you feel in that flurry?
For a fleeting moment, I did because it took me a while to realize that we weren't friends,
Yeah.
right? Like what I understood as a friendship to him, he understood as business.
Yes.
You know, you're another guy coming up. Let's, I'll see how you are, and if you're cool, like if it's beneficial, I'll work with you.
Yeah.
And it just it never played out like that. Like I got to hang out with him a few times, like actually hang out,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't really do much. You know, like he liked getting high.
Yeah.
And for me, that's not how I want to hang out.
Yeah. What would you have preferred?
Like just picking your brain and just talking.
Yeah.
Like how we are right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But it really wasn't like that.
Yeah, that makes
If he
sense.
didn't have something to do, he was barred the fuck out.
And you were just in high school at that time when you first met him?
So remember,
Or yeah,
I
you were in.
graduated from military school, so
Yeah.
I graduated at 16.
Okay, so you were out
So
then.
yeah, by this time I'm like 17, almost 18.
Yeah, got you. Um,
So it was definitely very different, and like our lives were completely different.
yeah.
Like things for him kind of fell into place relatively quick, whereas for me, instead of having a ramp built for me, I had to go source the material to build the ramp. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Why do you think he had it built for him?
I think it was written that way.
Like just in a
Yeah,
cosmic sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I
I
think
think who he was, what he represented, played out exactly how it was expected to. Like you couldn't have wrote a better book, you
yeah,
know?
and obviously it was super tragic when he passed. What was your how quickly did you find out about that and what was your reaction?
I found out probably like 45 minutes after it happened.
How?
So his manager messaged me,
Yeah.
and I'll never forget it. I had just got off of work. I was a kitchen manager at an Applebee's,
Yeah.
and I had just got off work, and I got home. I walked down the street to one of my homies' house to go smoke. It's like 3 in the morning,
Yeah.
and I get a text from a number that's not saved in my phone, and it's a video that somebody posted on their Instagram of him on the back of the tour bus.
Yeah.
And they're laughing, kikiing, and ha and talking about he's doing sit ups or some shit.
Yeah.
And he was no longer with us by the time they filmed that video.
Yeah.
And then I get a message a few moments later because I just sent back like question marks, and it just said he's dead.
Yeah, that's tragic.
And I'm like, what? What? Who? Who's dead? What are you talking about? And it just says Peep's dead.
That's so weird the manager would have been texting like that.
Well, we were relatively close.
Yeah.
We had spoken on personal things,
Yeah, of course.
so I think it was more like just I got to get this out to somebody. And I'm not the type of person to run to the internet and like post stuff, so I think he felt comfortable.
Yeah, 100%.
So it was just really fucked up. I remember just screaming and throwing shit, and my homie's yelling at me. He's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I fucking throw my phone at him. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
"He's
crazy.
dead. He's fucking dead." And like, I took it hard.
Yeah.
like really hard.
Yeah, I
Like
can
to this
imagine.
day, I can't listen to his music.
Wow.
I just can't. Same thing with X. You know, I just can't.
Yeah.
'Cause I held that music so close to me in a certain time in my life,
Yeah.
and I'm not that person anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard for me to hold on to that
Yeah.
and those emotions that I associate with it and the stories and it's just not something I want to relive anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I can appreciate that, but it's definitely good to get it off your chest once in a while because that stuff is heavy and you were kind of closely involved with, this chaotic event which occurred, the instantaneous sort of rise to fame and then the explosion, with Peep, with X, even with Juice World, who you did work with as
Yeah,
well.
we got a song together. Um, it's just so it's so rough and working with Empire. That's part of the reasons why I didn't renew my deal when it
Yeah.
was time.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really difficult. I got close with so many people that are no longer here. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I don't think they had anything to play with it.
But they did make
Because
a lot more money,
we
sounds
all
like.
know the stories.
Yeah.
You know how many artists with Empire passed away. But I is it an eerie coincidence? Yeah, but I don't think they had anything to play in it. But it's just like a omen that I didn't want to play into or be a part of.
100%. Yeah.
I, because who knows?